David with GoTeeCreations.com, and today we're going to learn how to tie-dye a guitar. We're going to start with a 58 by 58 inch 100% cotton tapestry by Sunshine Joy, which is wet down with distilled water, folded diagonally in half, and clipped into place with hair clips. I created this guitar template by printing off a full-size guitar, taping the individual pages together, and putting half of the guitar on the edge of a large piece of cardboard and then cutting it out. I make my pleats about 3/4 of an inch high. I pull the pleats by putting my index fingers against the previous pleat, laying my middle fingers out at about the distance I need to create a 3/4 inch pleat, and then either pull the fabric towards me or push the pleats towards my middle finger. Alternatively, you can pinch a piece of fabric ahead of your pleat, approximately the right distance to get 3/4 inch pleat, and then pull that up and align it with the top of the stack of pleats. At this point, we have a tighter turn than what we've dealt with up till now. Here I start making half-size pleats so that I get better detail as it curves. Here we're approaching the 90-degree turn from the guitar body to the neck. I try to adjust my heights of my pleats so that I can get the point of that 90-degree turn to land at the top of the growing set of pleats. Then I twist the neck around, adjust whatever folds I need to do, and then continue pleating. As we approach the next 90-degree turn, where the neck and the head of the guitar meet, we're going to repeat that previous process. Because we have a fairly tight turn right after this, I'm going to include some half-height pleats. I'm going to tie this very tightly with 70-pound test strength artificial sinew. I have it loaded on a sinew puller that I bought from Nikolai Savin, S-A-V-I-N. I believe I paid $45 for this. It was worth every penny. wrap over the top of the pleats and then back under towards me so that I'm pulling from the bottom. I can get a much better line that way. I get more leverage. I also put my hand down across the pleats so that they don't move. I wrap it 3 or 4 times, pulling tightly each time. When you pull this, be careful that you don't pull towards your face, because sometimes that sinew can break. You do not want to put your teeth out with that sinew puller. I pleat both the sound hole and the bridge up in the air rather than against the table, because the pleats from the guitar body won't let it lay flat against the table. Now I tie the sound hole line off with artificial sinew. Normally I wrap it loosely up the rest of that piece of fabric, but somehow I forgot. So I'll go back and do it later, although I don't show it. I'm going to create a single straight line out of the rectangle of the bridge. So I fold it in half lengthwise, and then that 90-degree turn that's left, I'm going to fold it into a triangle so that it's in line with the larger line there. And then we continue pleating and tie it off with artificial sinew. I use the sharpened end of a chopstick to scrunch up the remainder of the guitar body, which gives it texture and depth in the final product. Because I don't want resist lines across the guitar's body, I'm not going to use the more expensive artificial sinew. Instead, I'm using number 2 crocheting string. I tie all of the loose pieces on the edges to pull them into the guitar body itself, and to also keep them away from the bridge and the sound hole. I work at keeping the bridge and sound hole flat against the table so that black dye from those doesn't flow down onto the guitar body. What you do outside of the guitar body is a matter of personal choice, but I'm going to add a number of spirals. I shoot for anywhere between 1 and maybe 7 spirals. Any more than that, and they get a little small. I'm going to center my first one about the middle of the guitar body and about 6 to 8 inches away. You can't get too close to the guitar body, otherwise you don't have enough fabric to spiral. I'm going to grab about 1/8 of an inch of fabric into the hemostats and begin to spin. As your spiral begins to grow, the little wedges of the pleats get taller, but I'd like to keep them all the same height. So I begin to split between each pleat, making more and more pleats as I go outward. I find it useful to continue spraying with distilled water to keep the fabric damp so that the spirals stick to the table somewhat and don't unravel. You can spiral all of your spirals in the same direction, or you can alternate them, you can mix and match them as you see fit. Each one of these situations has different effects, and you should explore them all. I secured this half of the tapestry and the spirals with more crocheting string. We'll continue the rest of the spirals, scrunch up the excess material, and continue tying off. I use a fair amount of string here to hold everything tightly in place. once you have the whole tapestry tied up and secure, it's a good idea to set it aside and let it dry for a couple of weeks. I've got two pictures here. One was well dried for 2 weeks. The other was dyed the next day. And you can see that the moisture in the second one resists dye. On my next video, we'll dye this using hot water irrigation. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and visit my website at goateecreations.com.